Cool guys, so welcome back to another video. My name is Dan and today we're looking at everything I watched in August. Okay, so I know these videos tend to be quite long, so I'm going to try to keep this one as concise and short as possible. Fingers crossed. Okay, so to kick us off, I essentially watched from about New Girl Season 2 to about New Girl Season 5 in this month. I watched a lot of New Girl. It is epic. I absolutely love the show. The humor's great. I love the cast as well. It's about the time of the show now where I haven't actually watched the end. So I've kind of watched the first couple of seasons multiple times and then I just never finished it. So it's getting to the part where everything's new for me, which is really exciting, and I'm really excited to see how the show ends. So it's been a lot of fun. Okay, and then I watched Snowpiercer Season 1, which is on Netflix in South Africa, and it was good. It was good. I didn't really know what to expect about this. I really enjoyed the film, and I was worried this show was going to copy the film. It is its own thing, which is nice. I did really enjoy it. Some episodes drag on way too long in my opinion, but overall I thought it was a pretty decent and enjoyable show. So check it out if you enjoyed the film. I think you will enjoy this series as well. Okay, and then I watched Work It, which is the latest dance film onto Netflix, and I actually kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. I didn't really know what to expect, but it was a pretty good time. I do wish though that the film was slightly longer. I thought it would have been nice to spend a bit more time with some of the characters and just to see the story develop a bit more. I felt like the story was really rushed, just trying to get from point A to point B, which is fine, but I do just wish we had a bit more time to get there. Then I watched the absolutely amazing 10-part documentary series called The Last Dance, which follows the Chicago Bulls, but with, I guess, a bit of a specific focus on Michael Jordan and his career. It is an amazing documentary. They use a lot of really amazing archived footage from this time, which, as far as I know, was not shown to the public up until this point, which was great. So you really did get a very intimate look into the life and the career of Michael Jordan and the other basketball players who were part of the Bulls at the time. Really great documentary, and I highly recommend checking it out if you are into documentaries, or if you like sports, or I actually recommend it for anyone. I think it's really good, and I think there's a lot to take out of the show. And there's a very intimate look into the life of a professional athlete. Okay, and then I watched a film called Enter the Void, and this film was so trippy, so weird, so strange, but also so mesmerizing and almost haunting. It's hard to talk about this movie. So the film essentially follows this drug dealer who is killed in Tokyo, and his soul sort of goes back and looks at the people in his life and the people he interacted with, almost observing them. It's really weird. The other thing about this film is that it's all from a first-person perspective. So when he dies, you go up with him into the sky, and then you see him observing over the city and then going down to follow the people of his life and stuff like that. It is a very experimental film, I would say, but if you are into experimental films or artsy sort of films, I do recommend checking it out. It is very explicit. What I mean by that is there's a lot of nudity and sex stuff happening in it, and there's a lot of violence, a lot of language. So if you're not really into that stuff, then I don't recommend watching it. But it is a very experimental film, and the colors and the cinematography and all of that was really amazing for me and really spectacular. And I honestly have not ever seen a movie like this, and I don't think I ever will see one like this. So potentially check it out if you think you could be interested in something like that. Okay, and then I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It is now its 10th year anniversary, so I rewatched the film, and it is amazing. It's so good. I love it every single time I watch it, and I probably even start to love it a bit more every single time I watch it. It is so much fun. Edgar Wright's camera work and editing techniques and effects and all that sort of stuff he uses in this film is really amazing, and makes the movie super engaging. I love the cast as well. I think they embrace the characters so well in the movie, and it's just a lot of fun, and every single time I watch it, I really love it. Okay, and then I watched The Social Network, which was directed by David Fincher and written by Aaron Sorkin, and obviously this film is flipping great. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it. The screenwriting in this film is brilliant, but so is the direction, and I think just the combination of David Fincher and Aaron Sorkin in this film makes for a really special film. Obviously, as well, I would say the cast was really, really great. Jesse Eisenberg was amazing. I really also enjoyed Andrew Garfield's performance in The Social Network, and even Justin Timberlake. I thought he delivered a really good performance. It's a really good film, and it almost shows the downfall of friendship for the love of profits and reputation. So it's really good, and I think there's a lot of great themes in The Social Network, and it's almost interesting how it's almost foreshadowed what has happened now with social media, and how we sort of become obsessed with ourselves at the detriment to other people, So I really did enjoy it, and it's definitely a film I'm excited to revisit sometime soon, hopefully. Okay, then we watched Project Power, which was a new Netflix film that had Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Dominique Fishback. It was very disappointing in my opinion. I'm going to be very honest. I did not enjoy it that much. There were definitely things I did like about the film. I thought visually it was really engaging, cinematography wise, and the VFX and all that sort of stuff, and even the performances were pretty engaging. But overall the story just was really weak. It wasn't very compelling, and ultimately I was kind of looking forward to the film ending, which is not a great thing. So yeah, I mean, it's decent, but it's definitely not something I'm going to be rewatching anytime soon, unfortunately. So that's Project Power. Okay, and then I watched The Invisible Man with some friends, and I really did enjoy it. I think it's a very, very solid film. Elizabeth Moss does a really great job here as the lead actress in this film, and it's a really creepy film at times, but it's also very suspenseful and very like thriller orientated at times. It's definitely not your traditional horror film, which I think some of the marketing material may suggest, but it still really is a good film, and highly suspenseful, and it definitely is a great film to watch with friends, I feel. Okay, and then I watched Teenage Bounty Hunters, which was a Netflix original series, and I actually really, really enjoyed the show. I was going to do a review for the season on my channel, but I just got to it too late, and I ended up finishing it too late as well, and I was just like, if I posted a review now, I was going to get lost in the mix of things. But at times as well, I do actually enjoy just watching a series at my own pace, and not just trying to rush it for a review. I sometimes enjoy it. But anyway, it is a really, really solid show. Maddie Phillips and Angelica Betty Fellini were great as the two lead actresses. Their on-screen chemistry was fantastic. They portray twins who end up getting involved in the bounty hunter business, and there's a lot of great back and forth banter with them, and I really did enjoy the show, and I really do hope a second season of the show gets greenlit at Netflix, because I think it is a really solid show, and it could, in my opinion, have the potential to be one of Netflix's all-time great shows as well. This was a very, very solid first season. Okay, and then I watched Where the Wild Things Are, which is directed by Spike Jonze, and this is a really great film as well. I really do enjoy it. Definitely has its issues at times, but I think Spike Jonze just captures the imagination and just the struggles of what it means to be a child sometimes, in a ever-growing and distant world. And in a way, the best way to describe this film is just as like a bittersweet movie, because there's some really sweet moments in it, but it's also really sad sometimes. And this movie hits me in the feels every time I watch it. So I really do enjoy Where the Wild Things Are, and I do like revisiting it every couple of years. Okay, and then I watched Drive again. I watched this movie a lot. Every time I watch it again, I flipping enjoy it. I think it's really, really great. One of my favorite performances by Ryan Gosling as well. And the soundtrack in this film is great. The cinematography is great. The production design, the color grade, it's all fantastic, and I really, really love this film. This is a really unique film, and I feel like the last act of the film is just riveting as well from start to end. The one thing I will say is that for a movie that is titled Drive, there isn't much driving that happens in this film. There's a couple scenes here and there, but it's not as much driving as you probably think there would be. Okay, so with all the excitement and hype around DC fandom, I decided to rewatch Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and this film was great. I mean, there are a few moments that drag on a little bit, but overall I do think it's a really solid Batman film with really great performances, and I love Tim Burton's vision of what Gotham could be. Very sort of like an Art Deco vibe, and bit gothic as well. It's cool, I dig it. And fun fact, I've not yet ever seen Batman Returns, so I'm really excited to watch that this month in September. Cool, and then I watched this documentary short on Netflix called John Was Trying to Contact Aliens. Unfortunately, because of the runtime of this documentary, you don't really get to know these characters that well, and you don't really get to see the story develop. And it's unfortunate because I feel like there was a really great story there, but it doesn't feel like it gets told to its capacity because of the runtime of the documentary. Cool, and then I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Had a really good time with all of them. I have reviewed every single one of those films, so if you do want to check them out, links in the description. They're all really great films. There's a few issues here and there for some of them, but I do highly recommend checking out the Bill and Ted Trilogy. Cool, and then I watched Christopher Nolan's Tenet, and this is one thing I'm going to say in this video which I didn't say in my review, and I wish I did, I just didn't say it though. I really loved Tenet. I absolutely loved it for what it was, but hear me out on this one. Some of the characters aren't developed that well. Some of the characters are very underdeveloped. A lot of people before watching this film are comparing it more, or at least expecting it to be more like Inception, whereas I would say it's a lot more like Dunkirk. And what I mean by that is, like Dunkirk, we don't really get to know the characters in Tenet that well. And it's unfortunate because although the film I really did enjoy, and I also really enjoyed Dunkirk, it's not going to be my favorite Christopher Nolan film because it doesn't have the characters and the character moments that you see in films like Inception or the Batman films. And although I'm not worried about Christopher Nolan's future films, it is a bit of a concern to me that he almost seems to be prioritizing spectacle over characters, at least in these two recent films of his. So yeah, I mean, I really did enjoy Tenet. I gave it a really high score, and I think it does deserve that just on the spectacle standpoint alone. But like for me personally, Inception would be a 5 out of 5. And unfortunately, Tenet does not get that because it doesn't have the character moments, doesn't have the depth that some of his other films have. Okay, and then obviously at the end of this month, we got the really sad news that Chadwick Boseman passed away due to cancer. And I decided to rewatch Black Panther because, yeah, obviously his performance in that is amazing. So I rewatched Black Panther, and yeah, it made me, like, I really liked the movie before even hearing about this news, obviously, and I think a lot of people did. But just rewatching it again, and just specifically focusing on Chadwick Boseman's performance, it's different. It's a whole different experience, and I really do, like, appreciate what Chadwick Boseman brought to the table in the Marvel universe and to the other roles he's portrayed. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that for now. But obviously it's really sad news that Chadwick Boseman passed away. So if you have made it this far, thank you for watching what I watched in August. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to September. Some really great stuff dropping in September, so very excited about that. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and stay safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.